Hey everyone, really great to be back from the holidays and be back playing One Piece TCG and making videos for you guys. I am once again working on my red purple kid list that I am trying very hard to make work so that I can bring him to nationals and hopefully have a decent day. No disillusions that I'm gonna go all the way to the top, but hoping to at least have kind of a positive record and place pretty well with this off meta leader. Still think he's super fun, super good. And so I haven't had a chance to do a lot of testing over the holiday kind of break, but I'm back at it now. I've been doing a lot of testing in the day that I've been back, and I think I've kind of gotten to a list that I'm more or less pretty comfortable with and want to push forward with in my testing. So I've been doing a lot of testing on the ranked sim. It is a Discord that just got released a couple weeks ago and has been really growing in popularity that lets you play essentially a ranked version of the online sim, facilitated through the Discord with a bot that they created. So that's been really fun to kind of play with people who are trying to play competitively online, and also people kind of in my similar skill range. So I've been grinding that out really hard in my testing, and it's been really fun. So I'll leave a link to that in the description of this video. The other thing I'm kind of preparing for is Eggman is hosting a 256 person tournament on the 13th. I believe it's at 11 a.m. EST, and so I'm going to be participating in that. That is basically one round short of typical online regionals or online treasure cup. So that is kind of the best proxy I could kind of have for what nationals might look like in terms of playing the stack over subsequent rounds over a lot of different leaders. And so I'm going to stream that and stream my matches there. So please feel free to kind of follow me on Twitch and tune in on the 13th this weekend at 11 a.m. I will make an update if that time is not right, but I believe it's at 11 a.m. And you can kind of see me play some of those matches live. Would love to kind of hear people's thoughts as I'm going through the day. You can call out when I misplay and lose games just because I turn my brain off. And yeah, I was super excited for all that. So quick updates to the list. You'll kind of see that Marco's here. Marco, I think, is kind of just like a nice red staple that has been really helpful in the Sakazuki matchup. So if they play Rebecca, if they play Mansherry, if they play brand new, I can kind of get some value out of playing Marco and KOing that. But the additional benefit is they're kind of forced to remove Marco with Houndblaze or Porcelino specifically. Because if they use Lucci, I can kind of bring him back with one of my events, and I'm running a lot of events here. So I do think he's kind of nice. Plus, he's really good into other matchups. So if you think about like Law, Marco decimates most of the characters that Law plays. Also really good against Zoro. Also really good against removing blockers that like Brule. So overall, I think it's a good card. I'm not running Otamas or any kind of other kind of cost reduction, so I'm not really trying to be Ace or Whitebeard or Zoro. I'm just kind of running this card because he's a good 5-drop that can kind of help with sustain a little bit longer and help you maintain that board presence a little bit longer. So that's Marco. Other addition, Red Hawk. So kind of similar reason, survivability, but also I can kind of punish and remove some blockers with this card. Not expected as much, so I think it's a good card. Plus the trigger is really good off life, can kind of save you the game. So I'm gonna experiment a bit with Red Hawk. And then 2 jet pistols just for removal, really good against like Purple Luffy, can get rid of Kid Blocker, Queen, their page 1, really good against Sakazuki, can get rid of their Lucci. So just a really good card. And then you got your standard Rad Beams and Gatlings. Those are more or less the changes. It's very similar to the original list, still plays very similarly. I just wanted to have a little bit more value out of my play, so be able to kind of get immediate value for playing a card, and then also more survivability. Those are kind of the 2 things that I'm focused on with this deck. Survive as many turns as possible and get as much value as possible from every card you play. So that's kind of the goal. All right, gonna jump into some matches, see how it goes. Okay, so our first match here is against a Belo Betty. This is a pretty favorable matchup. I think the goal is just to play it very slow. You don't want to attack life super aggressively because then you're kind of in a position where they're going to get a bunch of cards off trigger, and that's not really helpful at all. So you really do want to try to take it as slow as possible. I'm going to do a kind of swing here. Yep, and then of course first card is a trigger, so that's kind of the concern. So we're gonna hope that we can get a 2K off life. The jet pistol would have been nice, but I do want to make sure I don't get hit by a banish here. So the 2K will be good. And yeah, see at this point, right, the Belo Betty has pretty much exhausted their entire hand. they're down to 4 cards. So I am feeling pretty good about my ability to survive in subsequent turns. I just need to kind of be able to move kind of slowly here. So the first thing I'm going to do is swing 5k, see if they counter out. Maybe they'll take this and just try to get another card off trigger, but they didn't. All right, so now we just play this. And now we're set up, right? They have 4 cards in hand. I have gone for a Rad Beam. I have counter in hand, so I can pretty much survive this turn pretty well. They're going to start doing the combo. Even if I kind of go down here, I have a bunch of blockers, and then I just kind of clean up in the subsequent turn. So he's going to banish me. That's fine. I lose Marco. I can now use my Rad Beam, which is good. Let's do that. And let's do that. All right, because I have Queen, so I'm not too concerned about that. All right, so let's get rid of the Moscato. Let's get rid of the Morley. Let's do this. Okay, so now we got the Sanji. They might try that one more time. Ooh, the double Karsu is always so brutal. So if I can get through this, I probably win the game, just because they have no other cards in hand. So I'm going to try to bait it out as if I don't have anything and see what happens. I'll counter that one just because. Yeah, I felt a little compelled to counter out of that one, just because I didn't want to have to kind of clear my whole hand to survive that. Let's get some. All right. I think we could just kind of safely go for it here. I mean, unless this life is a Sanji or a Beige, I think we're okay. Yep, all right, we're good. So yeah, that's kind of how you play against Belo Betty. The deck is super, super scary. Like double Karsu is insane. It just does so much value, but if you just take your time, you will almost always win, you know, in the long run. So it's definitely a deck that runs out of steam. I didn't play it optimally, I think. I definitely like countered out when I shouldn't have. I didn't counter when I probably should have. But even despite that, just by kind of pacing myself, I was able to get through. And I think his biggest misplay was just going with the Sanji. He probably should have just held up the Sanji and tried to survive one more turn. I would have, I think, in that final turn, cleared his board a little, maybe played a Queen and tried to kind of survive a little longer, which may or may not have worked with a Karsu on the board. So yeah, let's try another ranked match. This was a ranked match, and I'm trying to kind of get my rank up. I lost a couple while I was doing my testing, so let's try to get some wins and raise my rank a little bit in the ranked simulator. All right, we are fighting against Purple Luffy here, another staple in OP05. Don't love this hand. I love this one a lot more. Got my two favorite cards right off the bat. Oh, interesting. So he's playing some more Impelled Down cards. I know the Magellan is so good in Purple Luffy. Like, it just kind of destroys everything you have going on if you're hit by that Magellan at the wrong time. But I could be wrong. I don't see that many people playing Hannibal. Maybe I'm mistaken. I haven't touched Purple Luffy in a while. I think I was planning to play Purple Luffy kind of going into OP05. I always play the off-meta decks. I play Arlong. I played Blue-Green Sanji for a little bit. I played Red-Green Luffy in OP01. Like, I have like an addiction to losing and struggling, apparently. But I was like committed. And it's like OP05. I know I'm going to Nationals. I'm going to play Purple Luffy. And then I was testing him, and I didn't really love it. It felt a little kind of, I don't know. It didn't feel as powerful as I thought it would. And that could just be that I'm bad. As I thought it would kind of going into the set. And so yeah, I found Red Purple Kit shortly after that. I was like, wait, this ability is kind of fun. And I haven't looked back since. All right, so he just uses ability, go down one life. this matchup is like kind of scary because he gets to play such large bodies so quickly, but also kind of favorable because he's also taking his life, and you're an aggro leader. So, all right, I'm confused. I thought I would have just played Sphinx there. That seemed like completely unwarranted. But all right, whatever. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our life and swing 7k with Sanji. See if he blast breaths here. All right, he takes that, and then we'll do one more 7k swing. And we're gonna play our Captain Kid next turn. I mean, Zoro is such a good card, obviously, because you can get that Dawn ramp, which is really all this Luffy cares about. But kind of faced with 4 Dawn and an empty board, I feel like I would have just played the Sphinx, get a 6k on the board, and that just kind of puts you in a much better position here. But I don't know. I don't play Purple Luffy, so maybe not the best person to speak on that. I'm just gonna counter there just to force him to attack into it a second time. I think that's definitely worthwhile. He could take a life here and play the Kaido, which is crazy. Like gonna be at 5 Dawn next turn. He's playing Kaido. That is absolutely wild. But he is at 2 life, so doing that would put him at 1 life, and I can potentially kind of try to rush for game. I have a lot of counter in hand. Getting blocker would be good, and then that would bring him down to, I think, 5 Dawn, no, 4 Dawn, and then he would be okay. He's tunneling. Never mind. I don't need to do the math because he is playing blockers instead. He's going to castle a little bit. I don't know why it's tunneling. I sometimes just talk before my brain kind of catches up. And then he left 3 Dawn up. So what could that be? That could be like a Blast Breath and a Hell's Judgment. I mean, since he's running Hannibal, he probably has Hell's Judgment. All right. I probably don't need to like focus on killing this card because he's already going to get 10 Dawn anyways. He should Hell's Judgment here if he has it, because that just kind of invalidates my next attack. But I guess he could bait out the heat so that he can swing into it. Yeah, alright, there's the Hell's Judgment. Yeah, and so there's no point in swinging further. But that's okay. I have a lot of counter in hand. And we got one of those out. So, I mean, in a way, we both had it the same turn. He played a kid, I played a kid, and then I just got a Hell's Judgment out. So, alright, there's the Magellan. If you can play a second one, that'd be kind of crazy. That would bring me down to 3 Dawn. I'm gonna block. I'm curious if he'll go with his kid. Oh, second Magellan. That's crazy. That is absolutely bonkers. Kind of. So I'm at a bit of a dilemma because I do want to have 2 Dawn up for the Red Hawk. Yeah, so I could play the Marco and kill Hannibal. That's probably the play. Just to kind of secure a victory next turn. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that. I feel pretty good about my ability to survive the next turn. And then if I draw into a rush card, I probably win, like a Luffy or a Zoro. Oh, nice. That's pretty much all of his cards in hand. I mean, he could play the 9-drop Kaido. So I mean, that's the thing against playing against Purple Luffy. You're you're always at risk of 9-drop Kaido just coming out. Do one counter, and that really changes like your whole game plan. Because now that I think about it, like maybe worthwhile to just swing with this kid, because if he plays this 9-drop Kaido, I get no value out of this kid anyways. Okay. Oh wait, he can still do 9-drop. He can still 9-drop me. But if he does, I think I could potentially even win next turn, because then he's 3 cards in hand, no Dawn up, 1 blocker. Oh, no blockers. Huh. What's that? Oh, okay. He's playing another. Okay, he's just playing more and more blockers. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, he's 4 Dawn up. That's gross. That's gross. Okay. Yeah. I think I want. Yeah, I should be pretty good. Okay, I have a game plan. See if he takes this. Okay, he take that. All right, I just need to survive this turn basically, and I should be okay. Does he block? He probably counters because then I can go 9k. Yeah, all right. Yeah, because then I could have got 9k with Kid, and then I think that scared him. But I left 3 Dawn up because I have Luffy, so I just need this card, and then I'm good. Let's do that. Yeah. Ooh, oh, that's an amazing pull. I'm gonna get rid of the Magellan. That Magellan is nothing now. I'm gonna block early. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling really confident. Let's try to bait him into swinging with both blockers. I mean, there's like nothing else he could do, right? He could swing. If he puts 8 Dawn on it, he gets to 14k. I can get to 9k, 13k, and if I really need to, oh yeah, then I'll just Gatling with whatever this card is, and then I'm good. So he's pretty done. Oh my god, yeah, that just sealed the deal. I guess. Yeah. I think I lose if he just has like a bunch of blast breaths in here, and then he just holds up 3 Dawn, and then this does nothing. Nope. All right, he's going for it. GG. Alright, he wants to play it out. Let's do that. We are not rude. Alright, there it is. Good game, my man. Alright, that was close, but I think we played it well. I think that's kind of like the ideal playstyle for this deck, you know, just try to develop a board and then use your overwhelming defensive powers to survive while continuing to put pressure on because you have leader ability. So yeah, I think that match went pretty well for us. And I'm feeling good about this list. I like the Red Hawk. I think that was really nice. That I mean, the trigger there did so much work. Obviously, just completely removed an attacker. Without that trigger, I think we still could have won because we still had so much counter in hand. But I would have had to block a little bit more strategically. But yeah, that was our match. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of this updated list, and let me know if there are other leaders you'd like to see. I'm kind of focused on trying to get as much value, or trying to perfect my red purple kid list, because I am bringing internationals, but always happy to kind of do some testing with other leaders just for fun and just for the benefit of the folks watching. So I wanted to close out this video by giving an update on where I am in ranked sim. I think this quote unquote season ends today, and then they're going to have one long one going up to national. So I'm going to make it a series to kind of give my ranked sim progress. I think that could be kind of fun. But overall, this is where I'm at. I've my deck list has been all over the place, so I've kind of been testing a lot of weird stuff, and I lost a bunch of matches when I first started, and then kind of went on a big winning streak, and then lost a couple, and so it puts me at a 50% win rate, which I think is kind of exactly where I should be. You know, in most TCGs, an average deck and an average player will win half the time. And I think that's kind of what I am. I'm definitely an average player. I don't kind of claim to be some sort of expert, but I am trying. And so could be fun once the season resets to try to climb to, top 10, top 20, top 50, as high as I can go with the Red Purple Kit and maybe other decks. But it's a really cool server. I will put it in the Discord so folks can check it out. And then once again, make sure to like this video, subscribe if you like the content, and then also follow me on Twitch, because on the 13th I am going to participate in Eggman's 256 person tournament, and I am going to stream my matches. And so hopefully you will see me get to top 16 or better in that tournament live. Would love to kind of have folks in chat telling me all of the great ways that I am messing up my turns, and hopefully I can kind of get some good learning there as I prepare for nationals. All right, thanks everyone.